Hey everybody, it's me Truck again, and I'm doing this video in the pitch black dark, just so that you guys help you with this story, because this is how this story happened. Way back in probably 1997, I had this neighbor named Mr. Ben. Mr. Ben actually was a businessman. He actually used to repo cars. I actually went with him a few times when he repo cars. And he also, what he did was he had a nice sized family. He's an older gentleman. He's a former police officer in Camden, New Jersey. And basically, what happened? He bought a home right down the street, maybe 2 blocks down, same block. And it was a beautiful home. It was a single home. It had more bedrooms because I believe he had 4 children, and he needed to upgrade his house. So he bought a home, and he went up there and he basically was refurbishing the house, put in the pipe. Me and my boys, we used to go up there. We used to sit around while he's sweating in pipe in the basement because unfortunately the crackheads that came in there and tore out all the piping, the copper pipes and everything, and vandalized the house, doing little stupid stuff. Kids broke in there, spray painted all over. So he basically secured the house, and he began to redo all the piping and everything. The house is looking great. He even bought a new refrigerator, and before he moved in, he put it there, and unfortunately, people took notice, and someone broke in the house and bought the man broke stole the man's brand new refrigerator, very nice refrigerator. So he was sitting around, upset because he put a lot of money in the house, and he was afraid that someday would come back and actually steal the copper pipes out the house that he just put in. So I volunteered to go stay up in the house, and what I did is I just grabbed my Mossberg 500. I put it in a bag and I walked up the street. Didn't even drive. I walked up the street because, one, if I had parked my car in front of the house, somebody would have realized somebody was home. My goal was to catch whoever was trying to steal and break into the house. So I walked up with my shotgun, and he gave me the keys, opened himself up, and I laid there in the living room near the window, so nobody, in a nice little secluded spot, where nobody could see. And I actually was laying in the pitch black because the lights was off. He had shut the lights off and everything because he didn't want anybody to have access to power tools to rip out the pipes and stuff. So so there was no lights and everything. So I'm sitting there with my shotgun in the dark. Well, I think I loaded my shotgun with four Remington 4-shot Express. That was my home defense gun at that time. I usually switch home defense from, I might switch it from a revolver to my 9 millimeter to a shotgun to a rifle, depending on my mood. But at that time, I was using my Mossberg 500 the most because it was just, Camden was really off the chain. It was the midst of the drug wars, and people were actually trying to break in the house. Matter of fact, somebody, I told you in one of my previous videos, somebody tried to break into our house through the skylight in the bathroom while everyone was home. It was about 5 of us home, and somebody tried to break into the house. So, so basically, I'm laying in the dark, and then one of my boys, the One Punch Wonder, he found out that I was up there. I was staying up there, so he came up to the house and he was just yelling my name, because he was afraid to knock on the door, go towards the door, because I was in there with a shotgun. So he came up. We sat up in the dark and we were just talking, cracking jokes and all that stuff. But then we found out over time who actually stole the refrigerator. You know, and we actually went after the guy. I mean, Mr. Ben was so respected in our neighborhood. When everybody found out what happened, people were highly upset. So we actually went after the guy. Fortunately, one of my boys persuaded me not to do anything to the guy, just let it alone. And Mr. Ben wound up moving into the house, and he lived there for quite some time. And then he went out, actually got an even bigger house. I think he went and got like one of those houses on Park Boulevard with, I think it was like a 5 or 6 bedroom house. So thank God I didn't act out because I was highly upset. Because the man is struggling because the car industry, the repo industry, had basically stopped utilizing the contractor. Were hiring these tow companies only for $75 per repo, where Mr. Ben was making up to $600 or $700 per repo. He had been in the business for almost 20 years, so they actually basically forced him out, and he was looking for ways to make money. Mr. Ben, there's so many people in the city of Camden, in the city, just they're so resilient. They find a way to make money. After that, Mr. Ben actually learned how to cut hair. He created a portable barbershop a suitcase where he would go to people's house and cut hair, charge them $20, $30. He was a true hustler, and that's the Camden, that's the Philly, that's the New York, that's the Chicago. No matter where you are in the country, them black folk down there, they be hustling. I remember I always say when I moved to the suburbs, it's more difficult for me to actually get my car fixed in the suburbs than it actually is in the hood. Because in the suburbs, I take my car to Firestone or whoever, they claim they fix it, then I got to bring it back 2 more 3 times so they get it done right. But in Camden, I could call somebody up, one of the homeboys on the street, they'll come fix my car in front of the house. They fix it once and it's done right. But that's one of the things I miss about the hood. But thank you guys for watching. Thank you for subscribing. And thank you for following me on Instagram. I believe I have 227 subscribers on Instagram now. Thank you all for your support. And I pray your day goes well in Jesus' name. Remember, Jesus is Lord and he's coming soon. Peace.